Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to my channel. A lot of stuff has been happening on a daily basis, and I'm trying to keep you guys up to date. That's why it's extremely important to be subscribed, because every single day I'm giving you the newest, latest, freshest information on what silver price is, why the silver prices are acting that way, and what you should do about it. Plus more. So, with that said, some of the stuff I talk about is very factual, analytical, very punctual, fundamental. The other half is not. A lot of it's forecasts, theories, conspiracy theories, rumors, and they're both sides of the coin are equally as important. See, the charts only showcase the pattern, the historical pattern that silver's done, but it doesn't look forward. The chart isn't showing us the future, it's showing us the past. So since the future isn't molded yet, we have to use outside sources or other things to try to better gauge or get an educational guess on where the price is going to go. And that could happen very well with the theories or the predictions or the forecasts. So I bring that up because Citibank, one of the biggest banks, talking about a 60% price rise for starters. And they even go deeper into this, saying a 605% price rise, putting silver at over $100. Now, anyone in the right mind that makes this bold of a claim, is bold of a statement, especially when you're a big bank in the public eye, they're trying to do something. The first time I saw this headline, this article, I first thought to myself, why are they doing this? What's the point behind it? What do they gain from this? Before I dive too deep into this, into my toolbox, let's just read the dang article, right? Silver shines, says Citi, tipping a 60% price rise for starters. Silver has been a graveyard for investors since the Hunt brothers tried to corner the market for poor man's gold 40 years ago. So when big name investment bank earlier this week forecast a 60% rise in silver prices, most investors yawned. Citi, which has well-connected resources research team, has put its neck on the silver block in the advisory note with the tip that the price of metal will rise up to $40 an ounce over the next 12 months. Okay, so $40, that's realistic. Some people say $20 over the next year. Some people say 25. Some people say 40, 50. Some people say higher. So that's pretty realistic. So let's keep going on. Silver's currently trading around $24.80 an ounce on the London bullion market, having already risen by 38% from its $18 an ounce level since the start of the year. Citi's case for silver is based on growing demand from investors who see silver as cheap entry points into the world of precious metals dominated by gold, with a bonus of strong industrial demand. But the 605% silver rally, it also argues that there is a technical case for silver doubling $50 an ounce and potentially rising to fourfold to $100. That's a very bullish thing. So let's break this down for a second. Now, they're saying that growing demand, that's definitely a given. That's one of silver's biggest bonuses or biggest pluses that it has going for it, is because we're going to keep needing it. It's not, it's not like silver's ever going to fizzle out. Silver's always going to be needed, and actually, as we advance technologically, we're going to need more of it as we go on. So, growing demand. By 2025, the demand can have drastically increased from 5G towers, 5G technology, from solar panels, a huge section with solar panels, but also electric vehicles and other things as well, plus the individual investors like you and I. So silver markets are going to get a lot of money flowing into it, but and that's not really the problem here. The supply strains especially from this pandemic is going to be interesting, and I think we're starting to see the first consequences of the shortage, not having enough silver to meet everyone's demands, which is also causing the premiums for silver to skyrocket through the roof as well. So investors with memories that go back to 1980 will be wary of such optimistic forecasts because of the mess made by silver market with three Texan oilmen, Nelson Bunker Hunt, Lamar Hunt, and William Herbert Hunt, who concorded a scheme to corner the silver market, which they almost did. Unfortunately for the Hunt family and its bankers, the scheme unraveled spectacularly when the commodity exchanges tightened their rules to use debts and fund trades, causing the silver price to fall by 50% in 4 days, triggering panic on other markets. So they caused a huge rippling effect. And, that's crazy. Imagine someone trying to do that in today's time. It just wouldn't work. The markets are too big. It just wouldn't work. So when silver returns as a hot tip, there are some market observers who wonder whether it is a risk of history repeating. Citi's confident that it's not the case, describing the outlook for silver as a mini rerun of the 2009-2011 bull market, a time when silver rose from $11 an ounce to $48 an ounce before retreating. And I like that they actually gave that they gave some backstory, because the 2009 to 2011 bull market run from $11 to $48 is very similar to what we saw, or what we're seeing unfold right now. $11 silver in March, 60% increase into August, $30. And look back then, the credit crisis of 2008, which led through 2009 and 2011 bull market. So 2008 credit crisis, billion-dollar stimulus packages, recession/depression. What's happening today, right? $11 silver. We have trillion-dollar stimulus packages, a global pandemic, and recession/depression. So things are more extreme nowadays. So you would expect, if that got silver to $50 with those measures, imagine how much or how high it could go with a trillion-dollar stimulus package with a global pandemic attached on top of it. Silver is highly leveraged to a global economic recovery with relatively limited downside. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's literally a win-win situation. If the economy's in bad shape, that's when gold and silver flourish, right? Safe haven demand, it's a safe haven asset when you don't really trust banks, governments, when you're uncertain about, the government. Silver, though, even when the economy's in good shape, silver still benefits because it's so intertwined in the economy. So when, products, goods, services, and technology's booming, since silver's so intertwined in all that, it still does good whether the economy's in good or bad shape. That could be a good play for it. That can also be a dangerous play for it, depending upon how you invest. Some say it's opportunity. Some say, that's too much risk. So silver is highly leveraged to a global economic recovery. The bank said its forecast of a rise to $40 an ounce over the next 12 months is based on a combination of sustained strength in investor demand and a recovery in industrial consumption during 2021. So over the next 4 or 5 years, a lot of, there's been a lot of reports, a lot of articles written on this, of where the demand of silver is going to be coming from. Obviously, like solar panels, but I still think that there's an unknown variable, especially with the presidential election right around the corner, that's going to throw things off. Just like last year, all of the price forecasts last year were extremely off because nobody could have predicted there would be a global pandemic. So all the articles, all the points that were saying last year are so irrelevant because nobody knew that such a big event would happen. So looking forwards to the next 5 years, with so many things right around the corner and how extreme and serious things are, I really wouldn't look too much into the demand for the next 5 years as one of the biggest factors. Like, yes, that is, but even they say, look, right here. So this demand for precious metals exposure will remain high during the 2021 as pressure on governments to devalue currencies, concerns about vaccine efficiency and take-up rates, and questions over equity and bond valuations and rising global debt remain in most scenarios. So each one of those single-handedly could push prices higher. And it looks like everything is going to. And that's why silver just looks like a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. It's like the stars have aligned. The floodgates have opened. Everything is looking like or leading to high silver. The bank said its foreign exchange FX technical team is very bullish on silver with a $50 an ounce very realistic target and $100 ounce possibility. So if Citi's bull case for silver doesn't work out the bear case, including weak global growth, it is not particularly punishing punishing with silver price retreating to around $20 an ounce. So the bank said that silver was more leveraged than gold to a sharp increase in inflation, rebounding manufacturing activity, and should benefit more than gold to the positive. And they even say, these vaccine developments. Well over 50% of silver consumption is tied to industrial demand versus 10% of gold's fabrication. Gold is used for jewelry, coinage, necklaces, earrings, rings, watches. Silver, not so much. I mean, yes, it is, but most of it, the majority, the big chunk of silver is in our electronics or laptops, cell phones. So a lot of gold is recycled, remelted, rescrapped, where silver is lost in technology. So some could argue that, yeah, there's a lot more silver than gold, but the circulating or the recirculating supply of silver is ever going downwards because of the amount lost in technology, where a lot of gold is recycled at very high rates, especially compared to its little brother. So let's keep going. So 80% of silver consumption looks to be gross domestic product sensitive. Citi also sees the possible election of Joe Biden as the U.S. president would be more bullish for silver than gold because of expected increase in infrastructure spending in areas such as photovoltaics, which is solar power, and reduced foreign policy risk premium. So yes, especially if Joe Biden wins the green revolution, the green energy revolution with solar panels and these photovoltaic cells, is definitely looking bullish. But to each side, each person, each candidate have said things and will be doing things that could affect the prices equally just as high or just as much. Whether Trump wins or Biden wins, each of them, whether it's the stimulus package amount, whether it's, solar panels, photovoltaics, whether it's, whatever it is, both are explosive precious metals. That's the whole point. No matter what happens, gold and silver are sitting pretty, and that's why it's such a unique investment, because there really is there's no downside. Let me put it like this. Stock markets, they are up to the hand of the company, of the dollar strength, etc. Bitcoin depends on the blockchain, etc. Real estate depends on, gold and silver, though, since they have value within itself, there's no real threat when you're investing into it. You know that when you buy that silver, when you have that silver in your hand, you know that that's always going to be valuable. Unlike other things, stocks can crash, right? It's just interesting to think that with every situation on the forefront, right? We went over probably 10, 15, 20 different things that could explode silver. There's not one that really hurts it. Everything is looking like it's going to be benefiting from silver, advancing silver further. So for anyone to say it's not bullish, they're just blatantly not looking in the right direction or trying to shut their ears and just, turn a blind eye. So I definitely think silver's bullish. Citibank does. Do you? Let me know what you think. The link to this article from Forbes will be in the description. I post daily videos, so make sure you're tuning in on a daily basis to get the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date information in the world of precious metals. I am your guide. This is your channel. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.